Welcome back, saxophone players. This video is for beginning band students who play the alto saxophone. This is our Lesson 2 review video. In today's lesson, we're going to review how to hold the saxophone, how to play a sound into your instrument, and how to play songs 8 through 11 on page 6 of your music book. Let's start with how we hold our saxophone. Once you put your saxophone together, you should adjust your neck strap so that it's tight enough so that when your instrument hangs on the neck strap, you can tilt it right up to your mouth. If your neck strap is too low, then when I let this hang at my right side and I tilt it toward me, the mouthpiece is too low and doesn't point up to my mouth. If my neck strap is too tight, like this, then when I go to tip the saxophone up to my mouth, it'll be above my mouth. So you want to make sure you adjust that neck strap so that the mouthpiece tips right to your lips. You should never have to hold the saxophone with your hands to play into your instrument. That will make your hands and arms very tired, and it'll make it very challenging to switch between notes. You'll run out of air and you'll run out of strength very quickly, and that can be a very frustrating experience. So make sure you adjust the neck strap so that the whole saxophone hangs on the weight of that neck strap. If you need to, you can wrap a washcloth or part of your hoodie if you're wearing one around the back of the neck strap, and that'll add a little extra padding to your instrument. They also sell neck straps with pads attached to the strap. You can look those up online and maybe ask for one for Christmas this year. When you hold your saxophone, your left hand goes on top and your right hand goes on the bottom. Let's go ahead and find our home keys in our left and right hands. In your left hand, the hand on top, your thumb rests on the thumb pad. You'll notice that there's a button right above your thumb pad. We don't have to press that button quite yet. Just rest your thumb right on that thumb pad. Your fingers wrap around the front and hover over the pearl keys, those ones with a little pearl finish on top. Those are your 3 home keys. My first finger rests right on top of the first home key. My second finger skips this little home key and goes right to the next one. So I place my first finger, then I reach with my second finger, skip the tiny one, and go right to the next pearl key. And then my third finger rests on the third key. When a note asks you to press your first finger, you just press that top finger down. When it asks for 2 fingers, we press our top 2 fingers down. And when it asks for 3 fingers, we press all 3 of our top fingers down. Even though we're not pressing notes in our right hand quite yet, we should still figure out how to set up our hand to be ready to do so. Most saxophones will have a little hook on the back. That's where you can kind of rest your thumb, bring your hand around, and rest your 3 fingers on the 3 pearly home keys. Make sure that you're resting your thumb here and you're not pressing down any of these side keys or any of these front keys yet. Just rest your thumb. When you're resting your thumb on that hook, a common mistake that new saxophone players make is they lift the whole instrument and they hold it by that thumb. They hold the instrument with their hands instead of letting the weight of the saxophone hang on the neck strap. Don't fall into that trap. You're going to have a really sore thumb and a really sore hand, and it's not going to make saxophone playing fun. So make sure the whole weight of your saxophone rests on the neck strap. You rest the saxophone on the right side of your body, tip it up to the front, and now we're ready to play. Let's review how to make a sound into the saxophone. What you want to do is after you've placed the mouthpiece or the reed inside the mouthpiece, you roll that mouthpiece up over your bottom lip so that your bottom lip covers your bottom teeth. like this. That way, your bottom teeth are not biting down on the reed, which could chip or damage it. Your top teeth, after you've rolled your bottom lip in, can bite down on the top of the saxophone. That part's okay. Roll in, bite down, and make a seal with your lips. Once you've done that, you can take a big balloon breath and push the air straight through the saxophone. Be sure not to puff out your cheeks when you play, because that will make the air get lost inside your mouth instead of being pushed through the instrument. In our previous lessons, we've been working on our first 3 notes. Let's review how to play those notes now. Our first note is the note B. Every time you see a music note on the middle line of the staff, that note is called B. In order to play our B music note, we need to press our first finger of our top hand. Here in our fingering chart, there's this little line, and above the line are our top 3 home keys and the bottom 3 home keys. In order to play B, I only need to press my first finger at the top. It should sound like this. Press your first finger down, big balloon breath, and blow. Go ahead and try playing a B note and see if you can make yours sound like mine. Press your first finger, big balloon breath, and play as long a note as you can. Nice job. Our second note that we learned is called A. Every time you see a music note on the second space of the staff, it's called A. In order to play A, we need to press 2 fingers down in our top hand. Let's try it. I hold my instrument, I press my top 2 fingers, wrap it over my bottom teeth, big balloon breath, and here we go. See if you can make your A note sound like mine. The third note we learned is G. Every time we see a G music note, that's going to be a note on the second line from the bottom. It can be easy to confuse our G music note and our B music note. But you can tell that while our G music note is on the second line, our B music note is on the third line. We'll have to memorize that G is on line number 2, whereas B is on line number 3 from the bottom. To play our G music note, we need to press all 3 fingers in our top hand. Let's give it a try. Press 1, 2, 3, and see if you can make your note sound like mine. Let's go ahead and practice. I'm going to play a series of 3 notes, and I want you to copy me. See if you can listen and figure out which notes I'm playing. My turn first. Your turn. Great job. You might have watched my hand and heard that I played B, B, A. Here's the next one. Your turn. Great job. I placed my first finger down and played B, B, B. Here's the next one. Your turn. Excellent job. That time I played B, B, G. For our last one, I'm going to start on the note A with 2 fingers. My turn first. Your turn. Excellent job. When we play the saxophone, our goal when we switch between notes is to keep our mouth on the mouthpiece, keep our saxophone in playing position, and just move your fingers by feel. It's not always helpful to look down at your hands and then to play a note and then to look down every time you switch notes. That will take way too long when we play some newer songs that have notes that come faster. Try and keep your instrument up at your mouth and press and change notes just by feeling with your fingers. Challenge yourself this week and see if you can play our songs from the method book without looking down at your fingers. Speaking of our method book, let's go ahead and try song number 8. Open up your music book to page 6. Song number 8 is called Match the Pitch. You'll notice that we play each note 2 times, starting with our note A. The first note is always a solo note. The second note is always a band note. I'm going to play the solo notes. Solo means one person plays. Band means everybody else plays. So I'll start with the solo note, and then you echo me by playing the band note. Be sure to keep your eyes on the music and follow along with each note so we don't get lost. Here comes number 8, Match the Pitch. I will play the solo note first, then you can echo me with the band note. Your turn on A. My turn. Your turn on B. My turn. Your turn on A. My turn. Ooh, my reed got squeaky. Let me try that one again. Your turn on G. Excellent job. Keep practicing number 8 on your own. Maybe at our next lesson, you could be the one to play the solo note while the rest of our group plays the band notes. In the meantime, here's song number 9, A Breath of Fresh Air. Remember, we hold each note for 4 beats. Song number 9 shows us breath marks, that little apostrophe mark in between each note. A breath mark tells you when to take a breath. For these songs, we'll take a breath in between each note. For future songs, we'll wait a few notes before placing that breath mark. Here comes number 9, A Breath of Fresh Air. I'm going to click along with my metronome so that we know exactly how many beats are for each note. When I play the saxophone, I always tap my foot along with the beat to know how long to hold a note. Let's try number 9, A Breath of Fresh Air. 1, 2, ready, go. Nice job. My G sound doesn't want to come out today. I'm not sure why that is. Let's look at number 10, Breathing Easy. This song is similar to number 9, except we start on our low G note. I'm going to try and practice my G note just to make sure it's not going to squeak on me again. All right, let's try song number 10, Breathing Easy. 1, 2, ready, go. Nice job. If these songs are moving too fast, remember, you can always pause the video and play it a little bit slower to give yourself more time to breathe in between each note. Here's our last one, Threezy Does It. This one's a challenge because we only play each note once instead of playing each note 2 times in a row. So watch out, we're going to be changing notes awfully fast. 1, 2, ready, go. Excellent job. Remember, on our practice checklist, it tells us to play each song at least 2 or 3 times in a row. In order to really practice a song and to get better at it, you can't just play it one time and then be done with it. You gotta repeat it a couple times in a row so your mouth and your fingers and your body and your lungs remember how to play that note with muscle memory. One thing I noticed is that I kept squeaking my G note today. Do you know what I changed to help me not squeak that G note anymore? I noticed that I had too much of my mouthpiece pushed into my mouth. I rolled my bottom lip a little too far back, and my lips were almost touching the metal piece called the ligature. In order to make my G note not squeak anymore, I had to pull the mouthpiece a little bit out of my mouth and play closer to the tip of the mouthpiece. If you find that your saxophone is making squeaking sounds or sounds that you don't think should happen, try adjusting the mouthpiece. Maybe you need to push a little bit more into your mouth and roll that bottom lip back more. Maybe you went too far like I did and you need to pull it a little bit out. It's those little adjustments that we'll get better at over time so that we can create the best sound on our saxophone. I look forward to seeing you at your next saxophone lesson.